Welcome to Vivekam Stock Alert. We'll go over the top 5 ranks from Vivekam as on today. We'll also see how our portfolio did over the last week. Remember, we created a portfolio worth 1 lakh rupees where we invested into top 5 ranks from Vivekam. And lastly, we'll dig into one particular stock in detail and see if it makes sense to invest into that. So come join me. The last week, we saw some huge announcements from central banks all across the world. Our very own RBI surprised us with a 40 basis point interest rate hike. All of this is an attempt to try and fight the rise of inflation in the country, especially food inflation. And this is the first time that rates were hiked since August of 2018. Following this, the US Federal Reserve too raised interest rates by 50 basis points or 0.5%, the biggest hike in over two decades. Both these announcements, along with the LSE IPO, which aimed to raise 21,000 crores, led to quite a downtrend in the market. The market, or Nifty, which opened around the 17,000 levels, touched even 15,800, 15,750 levels by the end of the week. This is nearly a 7% correction only in a matter of few days. It is at this time when the markets are fearful that an investor should be very greedy. Do you know that the index P by E is now at around 20? And not more than 6 months ago, it was trading near the 28 levels. Now, prices can and should fall if the companies are reporting poorer performance. But what is happening in reality is, in the index alone, in Nifty 50, out of the 50 companies, 30 companies have already declared their latest quarterly results. Out of those 30, 25 companies have shown improvement in earnings, which means that companies are showing better performance while prices are continuing to fall, which means it is a great opportunity for new investors to put some capital, especially at this time. Now, with all of this being said, let us look into the top 5 ranks from Vivekam as of today. At first rank is Ghcl, a company within the soda ash industry which is currently trading around 595.05. Expected growth is 75%. Next is Electroscast, a casting company which is currently trading around the 34.75 level with an expected growth of 65%. Next comes Indus Towers, which is into transmission lines and towers, as we all know, currently trading close to 185 with an expected growth of 61%. Next is IndusInd Bank from a banking company, currently trading at 876 with an expected growth of 56%. And to round off the top 5, Happiest Minds, a software company that is currently in 914 with an expected growth of 56%. Also, last week we created a portfolio with top stocks as on that date. Let's see how that portfolio is doing today. Our portfolio is down nearly 10%, unfortunately. Along with the broader market, our portfolio too took a hit. Please do make a note. Our portfolio PE is still 8.64, while the Nifty is at 18.74. All these stocks, I repeat, all these stocks in our portfolio repeated growth in earnings, and according to Vivekam, they are still undervalued. So there is no change that we should make, as there is no new declared results or announcements that we should consider. We will continue to track this portfolio week on week, and I'm sure you will see the merits in our approach sooner rather than later. Now, I mentioned that we would dig into one particular stock in detail. The stock that we have chosen for this week is the top rank as per Vivekam, which is Ghcl. Ghcl, or formerly known as Gujarat Heavy Chemicals, is a company that is into the manufacture and sale of soda ash. It also has another division which is into yarn, manufacturing, processing, weaving, etc. And having been promoted by Dalmias and GIIC, it boasts of a very strong leadership team. Coming to holdings, promoters hold 19% of equity in the company, while mutual funds hold 15%. What is most important to note is that non-institutions hold more than 46% of the equity, which shows the strength of the company that retail investors are willing to participate in such huge numbers. The company is being priced at a PE ratio of around 9.21 based on the trailing 12 months and is still not among the top 250 stocks as listed by SEBI, which are under large cap or mid cap. The company has a tremendous PE when we compare, especially against the Nifty, which we saw previously was trading around 18.64. So Vivekam's model has assigned a fair value of 1043 for this stock considering the 12-month results up to 2022 March and implied a potential upside of more than 75%. So the company has shown consistent growth in revenue, profits, from the June 2020 quarter. This shows the consistency in performance. It is due to this consistency the trailing 12-month profits, sales, and net profit margin are the highest that they have ever been for the company. Net profit margin alone for the company is around 15.66%, which shows the operational capability of the company. And while the company continues to keep showing better earnings, the P/E is still trading near the average of the last 3 quarters. So just take that into context. The P/E continues to remain same while earnings are going higher and higher, which means the price will eventually have to catch up to that. Also, comparing with the peers, companies like Gujarat Alkalis is trading near 15.46 PE, while Balaji Amines is near 27.05. No other player in this space is trading in the sub 15 levels, thereby showcasing the scope, especially for Ghcl. The overall cotton shortage in the country right now is allowing companies within this space to pass the raw material cost to the consumer. Margins will continue as the demand is not decreasing anytime soon. Soda ash comes under a non-discretionary spending and its demand will not go any lower. Chemicals also are in so much demand right now that companies within this space have potential to really show good numbers going forward. With all of this being said, you can safely park around 10 to 20% of your investment into Ghcl, keeping diversification in mind. I hope this video was somewhat useful for you and you learned a little bit more about Ghcl. Let us continue to track our portfolio week on week, and you too can see how our ranks are doing over time as we see how the markets shape up over the coming week. Thank you for watching.